We're back. We are back. Puppet Podcast, special edition, Friday night at the house. Because we had so many technical difficulties. So many. And we are still out here grinding. We are still out here trying to make moves and make stuff happen. It's crazy. It is crazy right now. First off, I want to give out a shameless plug. Saturday, February 16th. If you're in the Charlotte area during All-Star Weekend, I am throwing the party. The Blacklist party. It's about to be crazy. It's about to be super crazy. 7 artists are going to come through. They're going to perform. I done bought the bar till midnight. Yeah, like if you're in that area, plan on taking the Uber home. If you can't afford an Uber, then I hope you can sleep out in the car because everybody is about to have some fun down there during Charlotte. So let's get into it. My guest tonight is an artist. She's an author. She's a poet. I haven't read any of her books, but I like her pictures. That's on the books, on the cover. And I think they're interesting. I really want to see what some of these books are about, but I want to let her introduce herself first, and then we'll get into the interview. So go ahead.
My name's Robin Carroll. I am an author, poet, like you said. I live in Colorado, where it's snowing right now. But I'm originally from the East Coast, born and raised there. Born in Pennsylvania, grew up in New Jersey. So I'm an East Coast girl. So, I like both coasts, but, gotta love the East Coast because I can get a cheesesteak there and a hoagie.
I understand that. I understand that. Let's see how I'm going to attack this first. No, let's go with the book first, and then I want to talk about some East Coast stuff. So let's go with the books first.
Okay.
I see the picture. You have it on the shirt. It's a
yes, I did.
Yes, it's a nice little lady, and all of a sudden it looks like she has a reflection, and she looks like the Joker. What is that about?
So the book is called Two-Face, and so it's called Two-Face for a reason. Obviously, when people think Two-Face, they think of a person that's, a backstabber, someone that's kind of deceptive, and so that's part of the reason why the book is called Two-Face. But it's also called Two-Face because it's about a plastic surgeon who changes the faces of criminals and gives them new faces. And so the picture is basically what the book is about. It's about a person that has another face, and that face is that other person that has those bandages.
Gotcha.
And you don't really know who that little character is.
See, now I might have to get on my reading skills. I might have to just go ahead and pick up the book instead of trying to do some videos and stuff. I know, for real. Like I said, I really need to just concentrate and do that. Let me see if I can cheat through this one. So is this book on Audible?
It's not.
Okay.
That's one of the things I will be working on this year because you're not the first to mention that you're not necessarily a reader. You want to listen in a car. You're busy. You want to be able to listen to it while you do other things.
Yeah.
So I get that. So that's something that I'm looking into this year. So I'm hoping by the summer, maybe earlier than the summer, maybe the spring, I will have it up on Audible.
Cool. So when you started off, like what was the whole process? Like when you started, not the process of you writing, but just when you said, "Hey, I want to be a writer." How did you start that one off?
Well, that started when I was a kid. my grandmother gave me some books, a journal, just to kind of write about, what was going on in my life. And at that time, I was kind of reading a lot of books too.
Mm-hmm.
So my teacher had given me like Little Women and To Kill a Mockingbird, stuff like that, when I was in like second and third grade. And I loved reading. And I thought to myself, you know what, I could do this. I can read, I could write, So I just started writing in the journals, just little stories here and there, poetry,
Mm-hmm.
different things. And, the older I got, the more it became a reality, more like, you know what, you're really pretty good at this. You probably should think about doing it. So
Cool.
that's how it started for me.
Cool. And then so you had that, and I know we talked a little bit earlier about your transition from the East Coast to Colorado. So touch on that story real quick about like that
So
move.
when I was in the middle of writing the very beginning of the book, I was looking for people that could help me along the way,
Mm-hmm.
agents, people that kind of knew the business. And I got in contact with someone via the internet, just like, hey, I live in Colorado. This is what I do. I can help you get your book out there, help you find the people that you need. Colorado at that time was just really starting to grow as far as writers, right in Colorado Springs, which is about an hour from me.
Yeah.
And so she's like, it's a great place for writers to kind of get to know other writers, get some pointers, really kind of learn the business itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I had some other friends here. So I made that decision to kind of, come here and say, okay, I'm going to make this leap, because it was a leap for me.
I understand.
I'm going to make this leap of faith and say, okay, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to move there and do what I need to do and focus on the book. Because I wasn't really able to do that when I lived on the East Coast, because I was busy working.
Yeah.
Basically, I was working 12-hour days.
I understand.
I was raising my son. And so I just didn't have the kind of time I needed to really focus on the book. So I figured if I came here with all these different resources, that would kind of force me
Mm-hmm.
to kind of do what I needed to do to write the book.
Gotcha. So that happened. You moved. You got around people um, like-minded, and then what happened? Like what was the next?
The same thing that happened when I was on the East Coast. I
Mm-hmm.
got a job because obviously I had to get a job.
Yeah.
I'm still raising a son. I'm still raising my kid. And I found myself in the same position that
Gotcha.
I was in when I was on the East Coast. So now it's kind of like, what do I do? So I was in this job that I hated.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sales job. I hated it. And, I actually had a conversation, speaking to the Lord one night, doing my prayer. And I was like, listen, I'm never going to get this book done.
Mm-hmm.
I need something to happen to kind of force me to make that happen for me,
Gotcha.
And 2 weeks later, I went into my job and they called my whole department in and they laid us all off. They're like, okay, thinking to myself, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I'm like, I need a job. I have bills that I need to pay.
Definitely.
And, it's just kind of like, well, we'll give you a small severance package. You can, apply for unemployment, which I had never done in my entire life. So I had no clue
It's
what that
yeah.
looked like.
Yeah.
But then in the back of my mind, I could hear God say, this is what you asked me for.
Definitely.
So take the time to write the book because this is what you wanted. And
Definitely.
so I had other managers at that same company wanting me to come and work for them, but I made the conscious decision to just take the time off to
Mm-hmm.
write the book. And that's what I did. I took a year off. I
Oh, a
wrote the book and
year.
I actually went back to school.
Gotcha.
So,
So a whole year.
yes,
Dang.
I took a whole year. It took me a whole year to write the book.
That's what I'm talking about. No, that's committed. No, for real.
Yeah.
Like that's I know after 3 days of me being off of work, I'm just kind of like, I gotta make some, some type of. So you sacrificed that whole year, wrote the book, got it done. Um,
Yeah.
then what? Like, was it self published? Was it like did you still talk to the people, the author or whatever, or the person who you went out there? Like, so none of that happened.
Nope. So what happened was, no, so remember I said I went back to school too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So once the book was done, it was time for me to find a job, which I did,
Yeah.
but I was still in school. And
Gotcha.
so for the next 3 years, I spent so much time on schoolwork that I didn't have time to focus on the book, even though it was done.
Hey.
So after those 3 years were up, school was over,
Mm-hmm.
then it was time for me to go back to focus on the book. And that's what I did. So it took me several rewrites
Mm-hmm.
after that to finally say the book is ready, because some things had changed in those 3 years. Technology was better. Some other things came along that I needed to change in the book and update. So I rewrote it several times until I felt like it was ready.
Cool.
Didn't have any of those contacts anymore because during those 3 years, I kind of, was so focused on school that I kind of lost everything. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Like I lost all those contacts, all those resources. I didn't talk to any of them. And
Mm-hmm.
so after that time was up, I'm like, all right, now it's time to focus on the book again. And that's what I did. So I focused on it. Like I said, rewrote it and decided who I wanted to go with as far as self publishing. I kind of tried to do both angles, to do
Mm-hmm.
traditional publishing and self publishing. But when I try to go to traditional angle and I would send my manuscript out, I would get these kind of, well, maybe you should think about doing it this way. And I didn't want that. I
Yeah.
wanted my book to be what I wanted it to be.
Gotcha.
What in the industry it can only be a certain lane. You They don't like the third person voice. There's so many things that they didn't like that I felt like was kind of stifling for me.
Gotcha.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and self publish it. And so I spent some time researching on who I wanted to go with, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of services they offered, because I didn't want my book to be done cheaply.
Yeah.
And I didn't want people to read it and immediately say, I can tell it was self published. I wanted it to be the best that it could be. So I took the time and I took the money to invest in the book.
That's right. You
And
always
so, yeah, yeah,
you
yep,
you took a chance on yourself again.
that's right. That's
So
right.
so
Again,
that's a real good lesson for everybody. Take the chance on yourself. Like I said,
that's right.
if you don't know what you're doing, guess what? YouTube is amazing.
That's right. That's right.
Learn how to do it.
The internet as a whole is
It
amazing.
is. It is.
I had a friend of mine who's actually a cop who
Mm-hmm.
read the book. I went on vacation the last 2 weeks. I'm still on vacation mode. My hair is still on vacation mode too. So
That's
I went on vacation. I was on vacation for 2 weeks. I literally came back this week.
gotcha.
And I met up with her the last week of my vacation, and she's a cop. And the first thing she said was, "You did a lot of research." She was like, because that book was on point. She was
Mm-hmm.
like, I could tell that you either talked to someone who was a cop, or you actually did the research that needed to be done, because there was nothing in there that wasn't believable to me.
That's
And
great.
that was like the
That's
best
great.
compliment in the world for me, because I spent so much time researching
Mm-hmm.
to make sure when people read it, they're not like, that's not true, or that can't happen, or you know what I mean? And so I put a
Yeah.
lot of time and effort into it. And so I appreciated the fact that that's the first thing she said to me.
See, and that's good.
So,
Like I said, research is. I mean, just take the time, do it. You got to do it.
yeah, you
Um,
got to do it. That's
definitely. Um, now, what the book's done, everything's cool. What are your next steps? Like, usually people want to be, okay, I'm gonna rewrite a book, or I'm gonna write another book, something like that, or B, try to get it to where it may be a not a TV show, but like a movie, or uh, I forgot what the other podcast was called, but like a running series or something like that. Is that something that's in the future right now, or are you just trying to just mainly stick with the book stuff right now?
So for me, I'm writing a sequel.
Oh,
So
excellent. Oh, okay,
because
cool.
once you read the book, that's the first thing you're going to say to me. The first thing everyone says to me: when is the sequel coming?
Oh man.
And it's not because I want to say this. I want to it's not because I leave you to the point at the end of the book where you're mad at me because
Mm-hmm.
I leave you hanging.
Gotcha.
But there are questions that you're going to want answered. There are things that you're going to be like, wait a minute, but I need to know what's going to happen with these characters beyond this book.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there's some things that is kind of up in the air, but
Mm-hmm.
not enough up in the air where if there wasn't a second book, you wouldn't be mad at me. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm working on that. This year, because I had so much stuff going on last year between writing the book, getting it published,
Mm-hmm.
me being on that 2 week vacation that I just mentioned, that I didn't really have time to advertise and market the way that I wanted it to, like as
Understand.
far as book signings and that kind of thing. And so this year, the focus is going to be on that, on marketing this particular book,
Mm-hmm.
doing book signings in different cities. So I'm coming to a city hopefully near you soon. and just making sure that I can get the best leverage from this book possible, because I obviously are going to want people to want to read the second one. And
Definitely.
so, I need to build that audience for the first book. Eventually, yes, I would love to have this book and the sequel be movie, because everyone that reads it says the same thing to me. That's a movie. Your book is a movie. And so I'm like, I love to hear that, because that means that it kept their attention and
Yeah,
it's something that they would like to see on the big screen.
that's what I'm talking about. So, okay, moving from that, moving from the future stuff or whatever. Um, I want to get into what I call the Spitfire round during the Pop Up
Okay.
Podcast. 5 random questions that I ask just to see if you're on your toes. So, question 1: who do you think is going to win the football for the Super Bowl? If you watch sports,
I'm going to have I'm going to have to go with and hometown team. I'm from East Coast. I'm going to have to still go with the Eagles, even though,
oh
they won
man,
the wild card. So, that does they're still in it. So I'm going to go with the Eagles winning the second year for the second year.
man, I don't know about that. Oh, I'm a Saints fan,
I
so
got well, you never know. You never know. So, no one thought the Eagles was going to win either. So you never
that's
know.
true. That's true. So you got you got that. All right. So for favorite food, what is like your that's the go to. This is what I want. As far as food wise.
Seafood, but if we're just talking one specific thing,
One
crab
specific
legs.
thing. Oh, really? Crab legs.
Yeah, I had crab legs tonight for dinner. Yes, crab
And
legs.
you're from the East Coast. So you didn't.
Yes.
So you're not from Maine. You're not from the Gulf Coast, but yet and still,
Mhm.
crab legs is number one.
Crab legs is number one.
Oh man.
Honorable mention is steak.
Is
Crab legs, seafood number one. Honorable mention, steak.
that's what? Oh, okay, okay, okay. So so we got those two. Um, as far as Q1, because I know we're in there. Um, what is the first goal that you need to accomplish? Like, what is the first thing you need to do?
So for me, the first thing is actually getting back into my blog. I
Mm-hmm.
actually started a blog the end of last year. And I have like 2 episodes that, because it's like kind of an episodic type of blog. And
Gotcha.
so I did 2 episodes, and I have 2 episodes that I've written that I need to edit. And so, my PR person, my publicist is like, where's that blog at? So,
Oh, was
so
it
she
and
made
who
that my
and,
number one priority
and
for
who
Q1.
and who's your publicist again?
Nikita Middleton.
That's right. That is right. She's the one who connected us. If you need some
That's
PR
right.
services and stuff like that, definitely find her on Facebook,
That's
on
right.
LinkedIn.
That's right.
I don't know if she's really on Instagram like that, but hey, Facebook and LinkedIn, those
Yes.
are the 2 biggest ones
He's
that
under
you.
Easton. That's right. Easton Publications. EASON Publications.
That's
That's Nikita.
that's what I'm talking about. So you gotta get the blog going. I gotta find it then. I gotta see what's up. What platform do you use for the blog?
So I'm on WordPress.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to kind of expand it a little bit. So my blog is for anybody that's an introvert, because I'm an introvert.
I
And so the
understand.
blog is about me being an introvert and me really kind of saying the things that I'm not allowed to say because I need to function as a normal human being in society. But if I didn't have to, if I could just be the introvert that I want to be, then that's what that blog is about. And anybody that's an introvert will read it and can relate to it, because it really is kind of like your real life story, because you really
Definitely.
don't want to interact with people, but you're forced to.
Definitely.
So
I understand.
that's what the blog is about.
I understand totally. So, hey, I definitely need to check that one out. Do you have the link? The what's the link to it?
Yeah, it is actually, you can just go to my website, which
Got it.
is robinmcarroll.com, and just hit on the blog and it'll take you right there.
Cool beans. Cool beans. I definitely have to check that one out. So I guess that ends the Spitfire round for tonight. Yeah. So I think everything's cool. Definitely need to get the book going. I need to look at it. I need to probably wait till it gets on Audible. Do you plan?
Yo,
Do you think?
now, can I tell you this?
What's
Can I
up?
tell you this really quickly?
Go ahead.
So I have a friend of mine who doesn't read. He
Mm-hmm.
said that he asked me the same thing you did. Is it on Audible? Because he doesn't read, but he wanted to support me. So he's like, I really want to support you, but I don't read, and but I'm gonna buy the book anyway. So he bought the book. So during the hurricanes that was in North Carolina, he lives in North Carolina, and his
What part?
electricity went out, and he didn't go to work because he was retired, and he was at home, and he's like, I have nothing to do because I had no electricity, nothing. And so he was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this book up. And so he said he was mad when it got dark because he couldn't read anymore.
Oh
And he
man,
said that it took him 2 days to read my book. And he said, that's how good it is. He said, because I'm not a reader, but I read it anyway.
that's what I'm
So I'm
talking
just
about.
saying that for all my folks that are like, I want that Audible. I'm telling you, the book will keep your attention.
I gotta see about what part of North Carolina is he in?
I don't even know. I think he was close. He's close to Durham, but in some little part of North Carolina, but I'm not sure. I just know it's close to Durham.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this real quick. Bull City, that's what it is. Bull City. I live in Winston. My family, my dad's from Durham, so if he's close to Durham, yeah, like I said, that's what it is. So, yeah, like I
Shout
said,
out to
so
Dan.
that's right. That's right.
That's my dude, Dan. He's the
Dan, special shout out to you, man. But
That's
yeah.
right.
So if you have any all your social media network stuff and all that, go ahead and just you can go ahead and say that right now.
So I am on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. All you have to do is go to my website, and I have all the links right there. To make it easy, just go to robinmcarroll.com. You can hit on any one of those buttons, and it'll take you right to all of my pages.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Which
about.
is
Huh.
on Amazon, it's on Barnes and Noble, any place that you can buy digital books, you
Cool.
can find my book.
That's what I'm talking about. We need the next book. We need that coming through. I gotta buy a couple
Dream
copies.
Killer.
Uh huh.
It's called Dream Killer.
Dream Killer. We gotta get.
Yeah,
Hey, if y'all read, pick the book up. Support.
that's right.
Hey, call a producer. Hey, we need to call Will Packer. Will
That's
Packer.
right. That's right. I would love to call Will.
Look. You've been doing a lot of stuff right now. A lot of comedy stuff. Let's get this drama going.
Yeah, tell him to get into something different. Right. He needs
That's
to get more into the mystery suspense genre. That's
that's
right.
what it
Somebody
is.
call him up and tell him that.
I think the last time he did that was that movie with Beyonce and Idris Elba.
Obsessed.
So
Obsessed. Yeah.
Assess, yeah. So we got a new one for you, brother.
That's right. That's right.
So somebody get him on the phone. Let's go. But
Call me.
but it's your boy Promise Mangum, Pop-Up Podcast. Lovely interview. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Stay warm up there in Colorado. I think North Carolina, like I said, we're about to have some snow, sleet, something like that this weekend. But yeah, like I said, just stay warm. And everybody else, my people, buy the book. Hey, Promise Mangum on a Friday night. Pop-Up Podcast, you know what it is. Peace.
Thank you, Promise.
No problem.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.